All right, guys, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. We have lost to Hibernian 1-0 in our first preseason match of the game. 2 goals scored from Hibernian and 1 goal from Emil Smith Rowe, just enough to give Hibernian the win they were just looking for in that game. And honestly, I don't think Arsenal played so well. We've got to talk about it. I don't think Arsenal played so well. Martin Boyle and of course Daniel McKay are the two players that scored for Hibernian in the game, and of course Emil Smith Rowe is the player that scored for Arsenal in the 82nd minute. We're gonna get into it, try to understand what actually happened on the pitch. Thanks everybody who joined us for the live watch along, and thanks everybody who was on the preview as well. It did so well. Right, let's get into it. This is how Arsenal started the game. Okonkwo was in goal. Pablo Mari was in defense with Harry Clark. Cedric and Kolasinac were the two fullbacks. Willian, Maitland-Niles, Elneny, and Reece Nelson started as the midfield four, and Aubameyang and Nketiah started as the only two upfront players. In this squad, in this lineup, only one player has not been substituted, and is Pablo Mari. The rest of the players have actually come off the pitch. For Hibernian, they started with Matt Macy in goal. A back four of McGinn, Poches, Hanlon, and Stevenson. A midfield four of Bradley, Gogic, Newell, and Boyle, and then two players up front in Alan as well as Nisbet. And look, everyone had expected Arsenal to win the game, because if you looked at the fans' predictions of the game, it was more of Arsenal 5, Arsenal 6, Arsenal 4. So it was more expected Arsenal will actually win the game rather than lose it. The worst result I expected as a person was a draw, and it did happen. Hibernian was so confident on the ball. They're very confident. I think one of the things they had is they concentrated early in the game, and Arsenal really failed to do that. Now, I'm not really blaming or dinging out on any Arsenal players, because like I said, it is pre-season and there's so many more games to come. But I'm really saying, I'm really talking about what exactly happened on the pitch. What should we change? Hibernian settled early in the game. As soon as 20 minutes, they had settled in. They were passing well. They were 4 feet. They were so fit. I think in terms of fitness, they were 100% better than Arsenal. That Arsenal side lacked fitness. That Arsenal side lacked concentration. Aubameyang was not on the pitch. Look, in the first half, it was a mess. An absolute mess. In the second half, maybe we tried to do a little bit things a little bit better, differently. But in the first half, it was an absolute mess. An absolute mess. Hibernian getting the better of us, doing whatever they wanted, doing whatever they pleased in that game. Bravo to Hibernian. I think they deserved the win. Well-deserved win. Really well-deserved win. And look, I'm not gonna come on this show and say I'm at Arteta out or Arteta in. I think it's not to that. It is not to that extent, but it's a reflection of how we played wrongly, how we played poorly last season. It's back again. It's back again. How we played so poorly. The poor kind of football we played last season is being reflected in the preseason. And then one can say, let's wait for the league. This is just preseason. But it is preseason that actually tells you whether you're going to have fruits in the season or you're going to have dry fruits in the season. And for me, if we continue playing like this, players' confidence goes down. Match fitness is absolutely ridiculous. We've got to work on it. What are these guys been doing? Why are our fitness levels disgusting? So what I'm wondering that is the question I want to know. What have they been doing? After the season ending, why are their fitness levels so down? They can't run. They literally can't run. Willian, Aubameyang, their fitness levels are so down. as one of the things that Hibernian have used against us. Honestly, like I said, obviously Hibernian have had a couple of games for preseason, around 3 of them, so you might not be at the same level with them. But again, in terms of quality, and that's why many Arsenal fans expect Hibernian to win the game. In terms of quality, Hibernian is far away from Arsenal. Arsenal is top quality. The likes of Aubameyang, the likes of Willian, the likes of Reece Nelson. Make things happen. Make something happen. In the first half, I think we were so bland. Very bland. We didn't get anything done in the final third. And I don't blame anyone for that. I blame Mikel because he didn't add anyone. He played Aubameyang, Willian, and Reece Nelson, and Edin Ketia. And he played in the pivot. He played El Neni and Maitland-Niles. Obviously, the only creative player in that game was Reece Nelson in the first half. The rest were absolutely out. Anonymous ball watchers. We created a couple of chances in the first half. I think 2 of them, and they absolutely went to a waste. Absolutely went to a waste. In the second half, I think we were a little bit better. From minute 45 to minute 70. Before we conceded the second goal, we were okay. We were fine. But the moment we conceded the second goal, the confidence levels went away. And it is exactly how Arsenal has been portraying the same character we've been portraying last season. Lose a game, it's over. Lose a game, Arsenal has lost it. There is nothing more to come back. 2-0 down against Hibernian. That could have been a 3-4. That could have been a 4-3. That could have been a 3-2. That could have been any positive result in terms of in favor of Arsenal. Because in the second half, the substitutes we make, Smith Rowe comes on, Partey comes on, Balogun comes on, Pepe comes on, and Lacazette comes on as well. I mean, that is the first team squad. Yes, we are waiting for City. We are waiting for Chelsea at the beginning of the season, but this is the first team. It's failing to beat Hibernian. It's failing to put up a good show against Hibernian. I don't care about the win. What is the quality of football we played? It was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. We've got to work on that. Our next game comes against Rangers, and I think we've got to work on that, guys. We've got to work on that. We can't we can't continue like this. Poor season, poor preseason, and a poor start to another season, and a poor ending to another season. If we are saying we are getting back to winning ways, it is not by buying Madison. It is not by buying Ruben Neves. It's not about that. For me, it's about the character, arranging and organizing these players that you have at the moment, and making sure they fit what you want to do. They represent what other players are going to find. I mean, if you bring in Madison in this team, it's going to turn bad as well. Look at Thomas Partey. You know the quality of Thomas Partey. You know the quality of Partey. And look at how he's drowning with his lads. You've got to get serious, guys, in our games. Not only in transfers. We've talked about transfers daily. You've got to get serious. Our next game is against Rangers. A much more stronger side than Hibernian. And I won't be disappointed. I will be very disappointed if Arsenal do not beat Rangers hands down. So it's been 2-1 in terms of in terms of the scoreline. Hibernian winning that game, and finally Arsenal losing their first preseason game. More games lost under Mikel Arteta. I'm not Arteta out right now. I'm not Arteta in right now. I need that objective lens to look at this guy, to look at this Gaza, to look at this geezer, and see what exactly is he doing. Does he even understand what he's doing, really? Right? So guys, let's not take it far. First preseason game lost. Sorry for that. Really disgusting. But let's hope Arsenal can give us a turnaround against Rangers. Good night.